I was actually the first biologist that was hired at the campus, and I came here the year that they moved to this location. I remember coming here a month before we started, and the lab was completely empty. Nothing in it, but everything was in boxes. So I spent that first month just unpacking everything and putting it away and storing it and so forth. Things like parking lots. I mean, we didn't have a parking lot when we first got here. And there was a small parking lot that's still in front of Lursen there, but that was big enough for just the staff and faculty. The students had to park in the grass in that little valley. Whenever it rained, that became a mudslide, and we would get the tractor out and pull kids out of the mud to get them home. That was also a drainage area. We got so much rain that it flooded. Students got stranded over at the student center, Perkins Student Center. So we had to get one of the trucks, campus trucks, to cart students back and forth. Eventually, we added another biologist because my botany background was almost nil, so I really struggled with that course. We hired a botanist, and the science program grew from there. We added some more physics people. We added more mathematicians. In the mid-'70s to early '80s, there was more emphasis on research of our faculty in science. We hired people that had research backgrounds, that had PhDs. So today we have a pretty strong science faculty. Several of them have NSF grants, several of them have, or at least one of them has an NIH grant. They're all good teachers in addition to that. As I said, the first building was the Lursen building, and then we were able to get the student center and what is today the bookstore. But we also acquired this facility here, which was a summer home for the Jansens. That's a story there too, in terms of what was here. You see some of the pictures on the walls of what the rooms looked like, and I was in administration at the time and got a chance to see it before we acquired it, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was unbelievable. The family had an auction of all the furnishings, and Sotheby's in New York did it, but they came here to do it. And it was a big event. They had tents outside, and people from all over the country came. And it's almost like $4.5 million of antiques were sold. So this was a fantastic place. It included the barn, which was really not a barn, but an entertainment center. Once we took it over, our tech people were cleaning out the basement and found 3 paintings that were rolled up, stuck between the stairs and the wall going downstairs. So the director, Hal Perkins at the time, called the family and said, we found these, what do you want me to do with them? And they said, keep them, they're a donation. It turned out that those paintings were $50,000 a piece. And that's what we used to start our arts endowment. We acquired the farm, the Pfeiffer farm, and that was an incentive to start our ag program that we have today. We're the only campus outside of University Park that has an ag program that students can at least start their first 2 years here. The dorms were a big event, a big change for us. That was supported by the community and at the time by our dean at the time, Fred Gage. And I wasn't the director of academic affairs at the time, so we all were pushing for that, and we finally got it. And that made a big change in our campus. That was another significant change. That helped the campus grow. Today we have a waiting list of students that want to get in there. I remember in the early days, in the 70s, when we were all in one building, that we would have Christmas parties and have various events, on campus, and we all bring our kids, and And I think back and seeing all those kids grow up and be successful themselves. And there was a closeness there. Today, actually, we're spread out through several buildings. We're probably 5 times bigger, and there are people I don't even know. I think I'd like to see us be a place that students want to come as their first choice, primarily because we offer excellent instruction, good research-based faculty, and an atmosphere that is, friendly and open, and also an environment like this. I mean, where you can just walk down to the creek and sit and read a book. I hate to see all that change.